What is going on, you dead set legends? And welcome to the Ready Bang, the #1 arm wrestling show on the planet, the one that hasn't been killed yet. Welcome. I'm your host, the Aussie arm wrestler, Jake Ward, and we are here. We're here to talk about why I think Devon and Alex is a good thing for arm wrestling. Why I think Toddzilla and Dave Chaffee is a great thing for arm wrestling. And why I think the guy from Baku speaks
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, we'll get to all of it in a moment. You know, I've got to say hi to everyone first in the chat. That's what I want to get. I want to talk about why I think this is a great step forward. I want to talk about why I think, or what Baku and the other people should do. Why I think this is all manipulation from someone else, just getting other people to fight his battles. We'll get in there. You dead set legends. It's going to be good. Hit the like button. And just a quick thank you to everyone that went over and subscribed to the other channel. Please still do that, because we just have to wait a little bit longer to see if this channel goes through it. And I will talk you all through the process if the channel stays up or if it goes to the next step. But first of all, let's get in there. Basado Sports says, ready bang. Erican says, tell Devon to put up his winner's purse from their first match where he won. Alpha says, yo. Z. Pronate attendant says, excellent. A European who'll make the trip. Anthony Bartolotta says, ready bang. Do we know which arm is first? Also, does Toddzilla have to go 115 kilo now, because no one from the East will face him either? We'll get to that a little bit later on in the program. Coastal Crocus, g'day all. Ready bang. Fishlip is in there. Ready bang. And double bang from Fishlip. This rematch is the honourable way forward. Good on Alex for stepping into the fray, says the Coastal one. Arminian says, ready bangarang. Victor, ready bang. Andy says, hi, Jake. G'day, Andy. G'day, Coma. My channel stayed alive for now. My man Phil Woody says, hey, YouTube has this channel not banned yet. I mean, what are all my super chat surcharges paying for? Great to see the channel is still alive. Mate, it's going to be pretty good if it stays, and I'll take you through the process. My man Craigie says, Alex now knows that the left arm win is possible. Right arm is going to be a hard task for him. No, because I've got a poll going about, do you think both arms, one arm, get him in there? Underwhelming. I will say no. Is the Baku August 30 event confirmed? There's only one thing I'm going to say about that, GB19.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, look, my opinion, remember everyone, remember all those people that are coming in, fine-tuning this a little later. This is all my opinion. There's your disclaimer. So, with this August 30, all I think that is happened is thank you very much, Phil Woody. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, stud. Right, so this one here from GB19. So, in my opinion, someone has just gone in there, and I think his name's Elmar. And he's been told, say this, even in his Instagram story, I was watching it, and I'm like, you're reading off a script, and you don't even tag Devon, and I don't even think you tagged East versus West. So I could have made a video and said, hey, guys, just so you know that August 30th is available here. My garage, it's available. Devon Vitale, it's available here. So that's going to happen. No, I didn't believe a word that he said. I didn't think Devon Vitale will happen. It's just a matter of when. First and foremost, no one is ducking anyone. Devon isn't ducking Vitale, and Vitale isn't ducking Devon. It became a bit of a power thing. You know, Vitale wanted it to be in Azerbaijan so he can go, right, I won this battle. And Devon's like, we've actually got a venue here and we are doing everything to help out. And that's the difference that I'm enjoying and probably why I'm leaning to the side of the Shaw Classic. Because if you look at the effort Robert Baxter was putting in to get Vitale over the line, talking to US senators, hey, can you get the big V banger in there? Can you get Vitale in there? Can you get him? Get him. Can you get him? Get him over the line. So doing everything to save while someone else is like, boycott it. G'day, Almo, can you just tell everyone that the venue's booked and you've spoken to the East versus West organisers? So, we're not going to tag them. Sorry, what? So we're going to say that we spoke to them, and then hang on. I better double check. Let me double check. Let me double check. Have I still got the photo? I'll probably delete. Oh no. Yeah. So, oh no, that might be the old one though. That might be the old one. But either way, he's not tagging East versus West. So I'll get to some of your comments in a moment. So I think it was just a power play and manipulation by someone, and just like, right, So on the West side, they're trying to make the Shaw Classic a big event. They're trying to look after a new major partner or collaboration that's Brian Shaw. They're going to have, Eddie Hall there, Devon Larratt there. So there's going to be plenty of eyes on it. And then on the other side, doing every single thing they can to make sure the event doesn't happen, to make sure that the Great Divide continues. Hot tip for you, buddy. Arm wrestling was going on before you started, and arm wrestling will continue to go on after you. How on earth do you think that arm wrestling would just fold and crumble because you threw your toys out the cot and quit? Doesn't work like that. It appears that Baxter and Dexter are trying everything to make this Shaw Classic thing work. Now, why is it good for arm wrestling? Because when I go on Facebook and I see a lot of athletes sharing this, and why I see a lot of people still excited for the matches, Todd versus Dave Chaffee at 115 kilos could possibly be for the title. We get an awesome rematch. I know that's one thing a lot of arm wrestling fans hate, and that is rematches. A lot of fans just do not like rematches. But the first one was so bloody good. Now, the big question is, which arm do you put first? They're going to pull both arms. Now, you always run the risk of pulling both arms. Do you do the left arm first at the start of the event? You open the match with Devon and Kurdecha. You open the event. And then by the time and then you might have them as the main event. Or you have Brian Shaw as the main event and then Devon and Kurdecha as the semi-main, in my opinion. But it's great for arm wrestling because it shows that they're not going to stand up to dictators. It shows that when times are tough, you see who throws their toys out the cot, who tries to manipulate other people and organize a boycott. And then you see those that just want to arm wrestle, that believe that the best way moving forward is to keep having events. And so my hat goes off to Alex Kurdecha. My hat goes off to Toddzilla and Dave Chaffee. Now, Dave Chaffee, he's a very quiet guy. He has nothing but respect for all parties. Same with Toddzilla. But they just want to arm wrestle. And they're like, cool. My boss and former boss are fighting. That's got nothing to do with me. I just want to compete. Cool. I feel pretty good. I'm going to take on Dave Chaffee. Or I feel pretty good. Yeah, I want to see if I can rock Toddzilla and see how I go at my first time at 115 kilos. So now, this could be just like, so we were in the YouTube era. Now this can be almost like the next era. Because a lot of people are going to be watching this. And for those that think, support the sport and grow the sport, and now you're organizing to boycott the Shaw Classic and maybe not buy the pay-per-view. I understand you're pissed off and supporting the wrong person, but this will be genuinely mega. And I've got a few suggestions, but I've got to go back and see some comments and say hi to some people. What else have we got? Hey, backyard of arm wrestling. My man. I'll always remember that. I've saved the link on my phone. The video you made of myself, the I Quit video after Devon and Dave got at it at the press conference. Backyard of arm wrestling, you've got a huge fan in me. That might not mean anything to you, but I absolutely love that video. Do you know how many people shared it to me? But yes. Stay golden. If Todd wins, it will be insane. Of course it'll be insane. Of course it'll be insane. I thought that was clarification that the venue was available and could support the event for the date because people were saying they couldn't provide the electricity among things. There you go. Pulse is saying the amount of people that think Baku is confirmed on the 30th is baffling. Devon is right. Arm wrestlers are idiots. I wouldn't extend that to include arm wrestling fans. I wouldn't say idiots. I wouldn't say idiots. But the problem is we only hear what we want to hear. Something goes into our subconscious. We watch videos, like, for example, that the giant crybaby, the former boss, said, when this announcer is on, I turn down the volume. The social media puppet. Now, everyone started dropping my name in the comments, which was probably who he was talking about. Because I live rent-free in your head. G'day, mate. Thanks for watching. But my name wasn't actually mentioned, and then everyone was dropping my name. So we're like, oh, my God, I can't believe he said that about Aussie arm wrestler. So, yeah, we only hear, or we definitely misconstrued things as arm wrestling fans. Oh, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. So the venue was available. But my venue was available. My venue here was available. Just because it's available, like, cool. So it was an event that the former boss, who had already quit, had announced. So he had no right to announce it. Announced the card 2 weeks after he quit. It was a venue that they stopped communication with the person that quit and the new owners. So they wanted to announce the venue they wanted to announce the venue on the last East versus West, and the guy didn't get in contact with him until a couple of hours beforehand. So he's like, no, fuck you, buddy. If this is how you run business, we ain't going to do business with you. So Zilla versus Chaffee is more exciting. It's going to be great. Epic rematch. I like rematches, especially straight away, because it was so close. You know, I would have loved a Devon Gennady rematch if it happened straight away. If the match is right, probably not Toddzilla Larratt, because Todd's just whooping him. But if the rematch is right, and this is the right rematch, and because it was so close, it doesn't give enough time, like, for one arm wrestler to be injured, or one's just up their game with training and things like that. I'm with you, Benji. We agree. Out of tune agrees as well. MJ Regal says, as a Polish person, I am so happy that Alex said yes. One from the European has the balls. Absolutely. Ready Bang says Coburn. Thank you, Tanner. So far, so good. We're still playing the waiting game. So hit the like button when you're here. So at the moment, I think there's five matches. Derek Smith versus Saray Brown. Eddie Hall versus Robert Oberes. Is that how you say it? Brandon Allen versus Brian Shaw. The two Devon matches, and Toddzilla v. Dave Chaffee. So there's 6 matches. G'day, Gianluca. So, g'day, crazy Uncle Jim. So my interesting take here is, why is there such a mad panic? Like, everyone's like, arm wrestling's going to fail because we don't have the Europeans and we don't have the best of the best. But I'm seeing other events continue success. There's all these promotions out there that run amazing tournaments every year, state championships, Arm Sports Entertainment. You know, they're running successful events every single year. Everything the Aries tournaments do. I'm thinking, you know, look at all the Arm Havocs and Lion Pride over in Europe. They're still running events and they're still being pretty good. So why was this mad panic that this event right now had to be all the Europeans involved? Now, yes, of course we all want Devon Vitale, and we will get Devon Vitale. Time heals all wounds, and that's what will happen. But for now, there's 2 things. One, let's bloody enjoy this. And 2, Mr. Azerbaijan, if your venue is available, and if you have been talking to Rob and Dexter, you know what I would do? I'd pick up the old 2-way and I'd go, hey, Rob, Dexter, now I know you've got the Shaw Classic going on. How about 2 weeks later, I can have Ibrahim Sagov? Maybe I can have an Hermes match, you know, and let's see if we can build together. And then Rob and Dexter will go, not a bad idea. But no, Azerbaijan, you want Devon. You want to run side by side, have a 6-7 match card with the Europeans and have it at Azerbaijan. Just get permission off East versus West to use the contracted athletes, right? And Rob, give him the go ahead. Oh, well, you can't pay for it. Oh, where's your mate gone then? Okay, and then let's see. Does Shaw Classic sell more pay-per-views, or does the August 30th For me, I'd love it because I love arm wrestling and I would just buy both. So run both of them. Run both of them. But for people to think this is silly and you cannot, like, it's going to ruin arm wrestling and it's a huge step backwards, you've got to be kidding yourself. You've got to be kidding yourself. All right. Yes, the Out of Nowhere song was pretty funny. Okay, everyone's saying hi to each other. The Kurdecha match was the smartest move. However, it's stupid to do the right arm when that could headline another event. Yeah, JR, I've never, excuse me, I've never been a fan of pulling both arms on the one event. I understand why people do it, but I never like it. You just don't get the full person. Now, I saw an interesting post. And I'll get to your comments in a moment. I love cryptic posts from arm wrestling. I love it. And today's episode comes from Artemis Gasparini. You gotta love him. And he says here, I'll screen in, he says, the journey isn't over, it's just begun. I have many years ahead of me. I can only continue to improve. I'll never give up. I'm so grateful for the many messages of support and even a few haters who motivate me even more. See you soon on the table. I love that bit at the end here. See you soon on the table. That could mean nothing. That could mean everything. I thoroughly enjoy it. Because is something else coming in the works? Is he going to pull a Baku and try and headline a pay-per-view? I'm definitely not going to hate it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it if that happens. I enjoy seeing Artemis pull. Of course I do. So does everyone else. Okay. What else have we got? But wait, let me press that one. Okay, this one. We have 15 events in the East, 3 in the West. Let's even it up a little bit. Yeah, that's a whole different thing to make it good. Yeah, because like the West had traveled a little bit more, so that's a whole different argument and organization. But I just didn't realize how vulnerable. That's probably the best word. Now, I can't wait to see them all back on the table, but how vulnerable they all were. It's madness. Breakdown. Any other matches that you know could be announced? Yes, they're about 90% done, but I am not allowed to say anything. I got messages saying, hey, keep it under your lid. So, it's under my lid. Thanks, Pulse. What else have we got? Yes, sorry. Thank you. Jocelyn versus Gabby is also a match there. So what does that make that? 7? Make it 7. But yeah. I am a bit behind in the comments. I will scroll down. But yeah, the outcry from some arm wrestling fans to just like, because we're going to have at least one event without and a lot of people, it's quite funny, a lot of people when they mention, we're not having the Europeans, clearly they're only interested in the super heavyweights because they announce, there's no Morozov, there's no Erdemans. And it's like, well, you claim that you like all of arm wrestling, but we all know the super heavyweights sell. But yeah, this is the road that I thought would be best for arm wrestling. Run a few events. Check your profit margins. Check your pay-per-view sales. Check your interactions, your analytics. Let's see if it brings in a whole heap of new eyes. Because I can tell you now, I think they can do something good here. They're going to have a big live crowd at the Shaw Classic, screaming and shouting. You get to get some interesting characters. Eddie Hall stole the show with King of the Table. And everyone's obviously there to see Brian Shaw, 4-time strongest man in the world, see how he goes. And Brandon Allen's ready to ruin arm wrestling again. But hey, King of the Table 1 got a lot of eyes on. And that wasn't the best in the world. Coach Ray and Mazahir Saidu had one of the best matches. It was like Ray won 7 times. But that was good. We got Larry Wheels versus Schoolboy. It gets more eyes on the sport. So all those people with their thumbs in their mouths and their tears in the eyes, I'm here to save you. Settle down. Just enjoy. If you truly love arm wrestling, just watch the Shaw Classic. See what you think. And then if they have another event without coming to some agreement, then go again. We go again. But shit, arm wrestling's been going on for thousands of years. It'll continue to go on. And what's this rush about getting into mainstream? First of all, I don't think we'll be getting mainstream in a hurry. But having Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, and Devon Larratt on the same card, not a bad start. But anyway, I digress. If we count up all the EVW YouTube channel videos, almost 200, and filter on Devon only, the view count percentage is more than half. One person has more than half of the views only. Someone tell Kalina. Yeah, Kalina's going hard in the paint, isn't he? Now, I don't know the translations of it, but you hear Devon's name, and he's really swinging for the fences here. And that's fine. That's not a problem at all. But, yeah, I think throughout the timeline, because their argument never makes sense, because they still bang on about the rules. And the rules were under their former owner's mentor. And the referees were handpicked by the former owner. But they are whinging about the rules when I think only one rule has been changed, and that's if you go into a ref script the first time, they all go into a ref script. So their argument isn't making sense. Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and it's lost in translation. But when Camille came on the show, oh my God, is he a crybaby? When he came on, no good. Just wasn't valid. Man. All righty. Yeah, I'm with you. But so I challenge Robert Baxter to allow 6 or 7 matches. Don't fund it. There's talks already of other leagues and things like that. But just allow the athletes to go to Baku, because apparently it's the greatest place on the planet, because everyone's screaming for, not, I shouldn't say everyone, the other side of the argument, like, it has to be there. It has to. So I reckon my challenge to Robert is let them have it. And then I want to see him go head to head. So if you pull on the Shaw Classic, you're not allowed to promote the August 30 event. and vice versa because they've already quit and thrown their toys out the cot. So that would be my challenge. But you got to understand, this is amazing for the sport of arm wrestling. The fact that they're standing up and go, that's fine, guys. You can quit. You can try and bow down to your dictator, mate. Not going to work. We're still going to have the party over here. We'd like you to come. We've gone out of our way to try and make some of you come. But, yeah, we're still going to arm wrestle over here in front of a big crowd. And, yeah, we got some pretty big. We got 2 guys on the card combined, 5.5 million subscribers on YouTube. So, yeah, they're going to help us bring new eyes into the sport. And then we'd love you. We'd love you to come back. We'd love it. No? Okay. Saying something. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Hey, everyone. Officially, my venue is... My venue here in my garage is available. East versus West 19 will be in my garage. It's available. The matches I'm going to announce are Devon Vitale, Levan versus a Tiger, and I might have Matt Mask versus an actual wild horse. I've announced it. It's there. It's there. It's there. All right. What else have we got? Gateway Arm says, total match time for Devon v. Alex. Both arms over under 75 minutes. No. See, this is what I think, and geez, I'm 9 minutes behind in the comments. What I think of this one is I think Devon will not do as much shenanigans. We'll just play under the rules and just make sure that this event is a banger. I really do. I'm going to go the unders big time. I'm going to go the unders big time. I think you'll have a little bit of an argument with the referee, and then whoever the referees are will be really strict with him and tell him to shut up and show they're not intimidated. And then we'll be like, oh, okay. And then he'll get on, and I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. And if Alex can do the same, that's what I think will happen. Hey, Neil. So I'm 8 minutes behind in the chat. Says, evening, guys. Hopefully everyone's having a chilled evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in the world. It's fantastic that we are starting to get back to arm wrestling and not drama. Yeah, well, it was your mate. Just stirring you, Neil, but we know that's true. Hope you are well. Looking forward to seeing you at the Strongman Classic. Because I want to, do you know if there's a way we can watch it all? Because I want to see you do the strongman stuff as well. I want to see you do the strongman stuff as well. So apologies, as everyone's saying g'day to Neil, and so they should. He's saying apologies. And in my opinion, it's got a lot of people talking this recent drama. So, and now that it's coming to a head, and someone certainly hasn't got their way and posting very weird videos, very weird, dumb videos. I've just been remembering the last 2 or 3 videos he's posted. Oh, man. It is madness. It is madness. Oh. So I need to correct this one. So Ali says, hi, Jacob. We got to see you back at EVW. I never worked for East versus West. I worked for King of the Table. It was Adam Silver, Larry Wheels, and Donna Drees that wanted me at King of the Table. Matt Rhodes was a big player as well for having me involved at King of the Table. I never worked at East versus West. I'm not in a hurry to work at East versus West. Robert and I have spoke, but I think there's a mutual agreement there that not now. And if someone comes back into the fold, I will never go there. I'll never go there. Okay. Scrolling. No, they need Paul Talbot, not Paul Lynn. Left arm. They need it. Reg versus Paul Talbot left arm rematch. That would be great. Paul Talbot. Saw Paul Talbot in Arizona and he looked awesome. So, okay. Jake, did you watch Matt Rhodes? I watched some of it. Now, Matt Rhodes was there. Like, I remember, I don't know if I can share that story. But I'd probably have to ask Matt because I was there, but I don't want to reveal it if Matt's not ready to reveal it. So, I was an advocator. There was, in my opinion, there was clear manipulation, behind the scenes stuff going on to ensure all the good matches were at East versus West. And there's the timeline will not fail me unless the videos have been deleted. I was standing next to Lachlan Adair when he just beat David Arabuli. And he's like, look at this. Engen's already organising my next match. And I was like, oh, okay. He's already organising my next match. I then went and did a live, said, hey, guys, when you're complaining about the matchmaking king at the table, just so you know that he's involved. He's doing it. And I was there. Then he goes on his next live and says that I wasn't, that I'm lying, that he's got no involvement. So, yeah, it was, in my opinion, clear as day. And I saw evidence in firsthand, having phone calls. I know we've had to give that match to EVW. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why don't we have that match anymore? Oh, okay. Oh, that's annoying. So there were bits and pieces that had happened. And Matt knows more information than me, clearly, because he was a shareholder in at King of the Table. But I'm sure he will, when he can, he will share more. Right. Apologies if I haven't said hello to you yet. Well, if I haven't said hello to you yet. So that's what had happened. That's what had happened. It was, it was a shame as well. You know, but that's also, I think, a negotiation thing or a stronghold thing that I was seeing. And there's text messages I can't reveal and private conversations I can't reveal. But it was a shame. It was a shame. There's conversations of make sure you, from athletes, and once again, I've got the text messages, so I'm not going to say any names, but it was said person telling athletes to ask King of the Table for more money to put pressure on them. So this company will only pay a little amount. Go ask for more money there. And it's like, thought we're all under the same banner. Thought we're all together there. But hey, what would I know? What would I know? I must be reading these text messages wrong. All the meetings I was in, I must be wrong. So, yeah. Look, I think Matt Rhodes can definitely help. If you go on my other channel, I did like a fun restructure. Arm wrestling will be fine. I'm not sure why there's such a mad panic, in my opinion. There's just some, we've got to have him back. How will we fix 65% of free deals? We've got to have him back. No. No, let him have a holiday. No. Let's see how the next few events goes. What are we? It's the 15th of July here in Australia. Let's just go right. We can do two things. Let's see how we go for the next 6 months. Let's see if this, because, okay, 15, 20 Europeans said that they wouldn't pull. But I know there's a lot that will. There's a lot that didn't say that they would quit. And there's already a few athletes that have deleted their quitting post. It's gone on Instagram. So there's plenty of reasons why it's going to be fine. Plenty of reasons. And I'm very excited to see what happens next. Well, I like it when you're sitting next to each other. I think it's better. It's funny. All righty, where was I? What is the current state? No, I think a lot that quit. Some have deleted their post as if it didn't happen. Some. I'll say a couple. I know of two, but I'll let them say, yeah, no, you know what? I've changed their mind. There's a lot of pullers that never made a post. So I think it'll be fine. Let's get some light heavyweight matches or heavyweight matches going. Let's get some, there's just so many matches you can make. It's fine. That's why I find this whole debacle and a lot of people crying, I just find it very interesting. Very interesting that they think this is the doom and gloom of arm wrestling. No way. The fact that they've put their flag down and they're going, we're still having an event. We announced to Chicago that we're teaming up with Brian Shaw at the Shaw Classic because you guys didn't want to play ball. And you quit weeks ago. So shush. So shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. So I like they're going, right, let's see what we got. We got 20, 30 that said, all right, we quit as well. Okay, don't forget about your non-complete cause in your contract. And now we're over here, and we've got an event. We've got some arm wrestling events. We know that we're going to get some good arm wrestling matches. How can people not be excited about the Shaw event? I'm baffled. Money always ruins everything, Chuggington. It's the same with YouTubers. We used to all, there was a lot of us that were in a group chat led by Ryan Bowen. He got a lot of us in a group chat. And then when people started asking, all right, let's see how much money everyone makes. And I think I came second to Ryan, but every other channel in the group had way more subscribers than me. Started getting a bit jealous. And then the hate started to turn. And it's like, right, there was bad mouthing on their channels. And, well, you can't use any of my content anymore or, borrow it and things like that. Money will always ruin everything. Money will always ruin it. Okay. Bing Bong Bo. Why are we seeing Hutchings versus Chaffee then? West versus West. Mate, so I find this comment interesting, Bo. So I'm just going, so if I go to, what are we up to now? East versus West 19. So if I go to East versus West 15. I'm just having a look. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 matches. 1, 2, 2 of them were East versus West. The rest weren't. That's East versus West 15. East versus West 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 were actual East versus West matches. East versus West 17. 1. This might even up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We had 1, 2, 3. That's good. 4. This is a bit better because it's in America, remember? 4. That's an East versus East match. 4. You could maybe count that as 5. He's Armenian but lives in America, and he's Russian, lives in America, so maybe not. So 4. And then in the Chicago one, we had 1, 2, 3. So the whole East versus West thing, the actual EV East versus West just isn't happening. I'd love Yord and Sonev in the mix, that's for sure. Don't say that I'm right. Don't say that I'm right. It'll upset a lot of people. Hey, Matt, do you want to come on? Damn it. 5 minutes ago. Matt, do you want to come on for a quick chat just about the Shaw Classic and why this is good for arm wrestling? Do you want to come on for a bit? Send me a message. Send me a message. If not, but yeah. Let's see. Pulling off John, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, why are all European athletes and fans such cowards? And he's going through a midlife crisis right now. My opinion, the timeline does it. We all know, and we've all seen it, when something doesn't go the former owner's way, deletes comments. He used to end lives when a comment didn't go his way and get real aggressive and yell at everyone and get angry. So then things didn't go his way. So he sold the company, got rid of it, sold it. And then there was talk of change. There was talk of some change. And then he cracked it, but doesn't own the company, was just an employee. So he quit. So he ended up quitting. So he doesn't work there anymore. And then decided to get in a few people's ear, in my opinion, because this is how the timeline makes sense to me, and said, this is what they're doing. It's all Devon's fault, blah, 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 blah. We saw the aggressive, we heard the aggressive phone call. If he's going through a midlife crisis, I wish him all the best, because it can end people's lives, midlife crisis. I've seen it firsthand, and I don't like it. I've never wanted violence, and I've never wanted people to die. Unlike people on the other hand towards. But I don't know if the fans are cowards. I don't know how the fans are cowards, but see how that goes. I think the European athletes, in my opinion, there's a big form of miscommunication. Because, and I'm only going off the little audio from the meeting, and it's hard. Even when people retranslate like a Kalina video, Kalina jumps on and says, well, you've misinterpreted that. So I think there's a lot of miscommunication. I think if the European athletes saw what was going on, I think, which a couple have, I think they might, I might have jumped the gun here. That's in my opinion. Explain to me how the fans are cowards. Ah, there we go. There's another match. Loz versus Martins. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, there are plenty of Europeans available, right? But this is because the event's in like a month, and they're like, right, let's see what we can do in the short time. In the short time. So Matt Rhodes, you're more than welcome to come on. More than welcome to come on. All righty, where are we? It's smart saying that they're 100%. That's why, like, the majority of fights happen. Yeah, the majority of them. Oh, geez, I've almost been going an hour. This is great. Sperong, yeah. There you go. All right, hang on, guys. Let me just do something. Let me go. So Matt says he'll jump on for a little bit. So I've just sent Matt Rhodes the link. See if he wants to jump on for a little bit. We'll see. Just a quick chat. We're not going to divulge in too much. I just want to get Matt's opinion about the Shore Classic, what he thinks of Baku. I'll re-explain why I think there's some good and bad things going on. And let's see how we go. But yeah, there's so many amazing matches that we could see. Just having a look at some of the athletes. Yeah. There's a lot. Love hearing Matt's opinions on things. If Devon would have just pinned Alex those first restarts instead of playing, which allowed Alex the foul for restarts win, it could have been more decisive. Interesting, Dave. Interesting. But we'll see how that goes. So I have sent Matt Rhodes the link. Matt, I've seen you. Yep, he's seen it. So he'll just be setting up. And we'll ask Matt a few questions. Actually, I'll ask. All right, so hopefully Matt jumps on. Not sure if StreamYard will work where he is. So we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, this is good. Standing strong, standing firm. You know, and a lot of people like, and it's only been going for a couple of weeks, right? Right. When was East versus West? June 21st. Okay, it's almost been going a month. And everyone's like, oh, I don't like the sport anymore. This drama's really old and boring and things like that. It's like, man, like just calm down. Just calm down. If it's boring, stop going on YouTube. Stop watching everyone's videos. What Australian actor would you like for an arm wrestling movie? Thor, 100%. Chris Hemsworth, he's the man. He's the man. Oh, my God. Everyone is going nuts. So, Matt's seen the link, but, let's see. Let's see what's going on. And then hopefully this time next week, I'll be able to give you an update on the channel. Hey, if you can you guys go to the other channel? If someone can drop the link of the second channel, that would be great. Or maybe I can do it. Why should I ask someone else to do something when I can do it myself? Let's go. Where are we? Then, okay. See what Matt's doing. Tell me soon. Yeah, if you go subscribe to that just in case. But if not, we'll make other things of it. So we'll have to wait and see what Matt is doing, and hopefully he can come on. He's seen the link. Has he? Yep. But we'll go from there. Also, thank you as well for everyone subbed, including Gateway Arms. Now, I do think we should have, if this amazing place in Azerbaijan is just terrific and amazing and so good, then yeah, I'm more reiterating what I was saying earlier. If I were Robert Baxter, I would be saying one time only. They have a non-compete clause, but for one time only, go for it. All you, though, you've got to organise it all. But you can have the athletes, and let's see head-to-head how we are going. So let's keep checking the phone. Nothing as of yet. Come on, Matt. You can't just say, send me the link. Maybe it's not working. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, hang on. Here we go. There he is. My man. What's going on, buddy?
How are you, mate? All right.
Always good. Those that don't know, he's a very good friend of mine. Matt Rhodes used to have a bit in King of the Table, and I think we there was one King of the Table. I think we almost spent every waking minute together. We're even both in my hotel room, both on the computers working and things like that.
Yeah, some good times amongst it all. Better times than that, I would say.
I do love your name, Peace Treaty Convoy.
You know, I just had to put some clothes on, mate, after you sent me the link. I was sat in bed because it's almost midnight here, so.
You didn't have to, mate, but just more. I just want to get your. It's nice that you're watching the show naked, so good to see that I get people up and about. Now, what do you think about these matches that have been announced for the Shore Classic? I think, my opinion, I'm not sure if you heard it. I know you've been in and out of the chat. My opinion is I think this is great for arm wrestling. This is a bit of a, hey, we're still going on with the event. We want to put on a show in front of a brand new audience and a bit of a, all right, you guys can quit, but we're still going to have arm wrestling.
Well, I mean, look, it's definitely a good thing. Anytime you can expose the sport to a new audience and one that does have a lot of crossover and a lot of strongmen. I don't know if you mentioned Big Loz against Martins Lissus as well is on that card.
Yeah, I popped it up. I saw you put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 matches.
In terms of like strongman fans, that's one of the biggest ones because those two are very popular guys in the sport. Martin's former world's strongest man, so that's a really big one. Yeah, and obviously for like hardcore arm wrestling only fans, they want some of the kind of big guns. But now they've got Devon, Alex, and today Dave versus Uncle Todd was announced, which I think is a cracker. I mean, I don't know if you were there, but towards my time at the end of King of the Table, we had discussions with Dave about going to 115 and who the opponents would be.
Yes, well, they're at the pool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And that was one of the kind of great matches discussed all way back then, which, of course, for certain reasons, never came to fruition. So, yeah, I mean, the card is building on top of the guys from the strongman. So I don't see how it can be a bad thing. Of course, people are upset that Devon versus Vitali is not on there. But at the moment, that's the way it is. So,
with everything that's going on, because you have been in talks with both athletes, with everything that's going on, do you think there's a reasonable timeline for Devon Vitali, or is there just too much, has to be on my terms? No, it's got to be on my terms, has to be on my terms.
No, I think it can be sorted out pretty quick because Vitali's not one of the guys that is sort of so strongly going against everything. It's more that he's in the East and, you know, the guys are trying to stick together. But I think things can get sorted out pretty quickly. I think perhaps I'm only talking from the outside here, but it seems like perhaps Robert and Dexter just have to make their decisions. And once they do, things can get sorted out pretty quickly. But it's felt like things are kind of up in the air right now until firm decisions are made. But once they are, I think people like Vitali will come around pretty quick.
Yeah, I think they will as well, especially now because the Shore Classic, I mean, you're a strongman before arm wrestling, so you're heavy, you know all these strongmen personally, whether you like them or not, because in every sport there's drama. I'm not saying Matt Rose is causing rift with people, guys. Don't misconstrue my words. But like the Shore Classic in a strongman sense, like it's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's called like the Big Four. So the top four World's Strongest Man, Rogue Invitational, and Arnold's and Shore Classic. Those are the top four strongman tournaments. So, yeah, without doubt, it's in strongman. All fans are watching that tournament. Yeah, there's no... For hardcore arm wrestling fans, you guys also want the names, you know, the elite of the arm wrestling world. But now you've got Chaffee, Toddzilla, Kurdecha, Devon. The card's already building. I've no idea who else might go on that card, but I've got a feeling there might be more added to it. So I think kind of got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think, and it's going to be packed at the Shore Classic. How many do you think come through the gate of a weekend like a Shore Classic?
I don't know how many tickets he sold, but I would have thought you're talking like maybe 5,000 people, something like that. But you know, a lot of people watch online. That's the thing, you know, and afterwards it will go on Brian's YouTube and their other YouTube and things like that. It'll get a lot of views. A bit same way it worked out with Larry Wheels, which no one can say is a bad thing. I think in all this situation, I've heard so many stories about this and that. And to me, Larry Wheels was the name that really got the arm wrestling going as it is now more than anybody.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. Still is a big name. It's a shame we kind of drove him out of the sport. When we say we, I'm talking about the arm wrestling community. We just kept grilling him. And then he just went, yeah, that'll do. I'm out of here. See you guys. And he lost interest. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a shame. I mean, Larry has come in and out of a number of sports. And I mean, again, we can talk about matchmaking for Larry. But one way or the other, yeah, the sport lost him. But anyway, regardless, like I say, he did probably the most at the very beginning, getting the sport going with King of the Table 1. So that shouldn't be forgotten.
Well, I know one particular person ran his name through the mud, said he had nothing, no contribution to it. I thought that was an absolute dick move by that guy. I just saw just how egotistical do you need to be to say that Larry had no impact on the sport? It was.
I mean, look, there's more people trying to kind of spoil the broth right now than people trying to fix it, But like I said, I think it would be all right. I've spoken to a number of Eastern guys, like you say. People always concentrate on the ones making the most noise, but there's a lot of guys being fairly silent or just reshared a few things. I was wild to people in the West, but in the East, genuinely, like some of the Russian guys I know, genuinely didn't understand or still don't fully that Engen sold up, that the Baku events wasn't announced officially by the new owners. They generally don't understand that, some of these guys still, and that's where there's a problem, and that's where the new owners have got work to do to try and make that clear. There's dire confusion, I think we could say.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just having a look, but people are saying the stream crashed, but we're going fine. What's happened here? Seems fine on my end, guys. People are saying the stream crashed. What happened? Back now. It's all fine on our end. It's been fine the whole time. Yeah, back now. YouTube glitch. That's very weird. But glad to see that we're back in the fold. What do you think of the behaviour of the guy helping organising Baku? Do you think it was done independently? Do you think it was fed? I mean, at stages he wasn't even tagging East versus West or Devon, but announcing it all.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be fair to the guy, and again, I'm looking at this from the outside, like you guys. I've no idea what really went down between Engen, that guy, and Robert and Dex. I've no idea how all those conversations went, so I can only guess. So I've got to be fair from that point of view. But all I know is, as someone myself, kind of who hosts different tournaments, we have bodybuilding, fitness bikini, and different things at Siberian Power Show, not just a strongman. And I would never go publicly and announce things myself for what another organization is planning to do there, because like we have IFBB bodybuilding, for example. I would never say, oh, well, we've been having conversations and it's free for them to come and compete. Of course, it's not public business. And again, he's just added to all the confusion where people think, was this an official announcement? But as soon as someone's doing that and just tagging athletes and things, it's a fact. It's not professional. So whatever has happened behind the scenes, whoever is right or wrong, if I was still at King of the Table and the host for an event was acting like that, I'd make the phone call that it's off because of the behavior. Simple as that. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Put it in the bin.
Oh man, it's all fantastic. How do you find the behavior of someone that quits a company but still thinks they're in control, and do you think, I'm under the impression of two things. One, it was an organized boycott, or two, we were talking about it before, a bit of a miscommunication and not understanding fully that's going on, because there was a lot of copy and paste when it comes to everyone quitting. So it didn't add up to me.
Yeah, as I understand it, it wasn't so much that it's like everybody was in agreement this is going to happen. It was a few people were caught up in it, and then all the other guys had kind of pressure on them, will reshare this, reshare that. And a couple of the guys, I'm not going to start naming who I was talking to and who said what, but some of the guys were like, look, I don't even really understand what's happening, but everyone's like, stick together or it's all going to fall apart. So in some ways, I even think some of the Easterners have got good intentions, like they feel like stick together and it will get sorted out with East versus West, rather than stick together and quit East versus West. But again, because it's always the loud voices that get heard, just a few guys that perhaps on the extreme end of the Easterners that's how it's been perceived as, or everybody just wants to quit and walk away, but it's not the case.
Yeah, I find it very, very interesting. And then for me, I found confusing. You seem to be a voice of reason, Matt, so you can maybe bring some understanding for me. What was the mad panic with the arm wrestling fans? Like, they're like, oh my God, the Europeans have to be there at the Shore Classic and they can't do another event. And there was this mad panic that if they weren't inserted into the Shore Classic or the made-up Baku event, then the sport would just be dead and buried in one go. I couldn't believe it.
I think the thing is, in everything in like modern day life, everybody's just looking at what's right here and right now, not like down the line and not in the past, because social media, you're just scrolling through. And the fans had what they thought was the lineup for East versus West in Baku, thought it was a genuine thing. So we were very excited about that. It was a great card. So I think it's all just based on the disappointment of losing that was never actually a real card anyway. It was just something Engen decided to put out on his own. And that, I think, it explains why people are kind of, for now, kind of upset about it all. But it will pass,
Of course it will. Everything passes. We've seen it all the time. It's just I'm just having fun talking about it and listening to phone calls about fans getting abused and things like that. Just the professionalism. I see, and you roll your eyes like it makes sense why you went and stuck with strongman. We are the smallest sport in the world, and we lose our shit over anything.
Waiting to receive my phone call from the big man. We'll see. But
I did watch the first half of your live before you went more into a Q&A side of things. But if you got any other fun stories about your time in arm wrestling you want to share, good or bad?
There was a lot of good times in terms of the people, from the guys from the East and the West, right? We all got on. Times were good. It isn't just suddenly a case that everybody's a bad guy now that is on one side of it or the other. But I don't know. I mean, for me, it was difficult times there because I never had a controlling stake and it never really went my way. But I've maintained great relationships from people like yourself in host and commentary roles to referees like Bill Phillips to athletes on both sides like Vitaly and like Hermes and like Devon. So across the board, I felt like I had good relationships then and still do now. And so, that's a positive thing. And as it happens, every day this has gone on, I've been more brought into the fray from athletes and from organizers and everything to perhaps help with this in some ways. And I spoke a lot on my stream about, feel like they need a replacement as a middleman in all of this. I wasn't putting myself forward for that. I hadn't even considered that role for myself, but I understand that the Easterners naturally need someone who can speak English, but they also trust to give their side of things. That could be someone within the sport. It could be someone that's never been in arm wrestling, but just represents their interests. It doesn't mean everyone's taken it that's a role for me. I understand that fans of the sport perhaps know who I am from King of the Table, so are thinking, well, that's logical. Maybe it is. And like I say, now I have been brought into things, not by Robert and Dexter, but by athletes on both sides. So we'll see. But right now, all I'm doing is trying to help it all go back together.
Were you surprised about the huge positive outlay that just came? Like, you were in chats and you did your own live, and 95% was like, "Oh my God, we need Matt Rhodes back in the sport." Were you surprised at all?
Yeah, kind of, because I checked out of the sport without any explanation because there's still ongoing issues for the reasons that I did, which I wasn't happy with how things were being run. I thought it could have been a lot better, a lot more fan friendly. So yeah, some fans perhaps would have forgotten about me or resented that I left, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so I can say I'm surprised how positive the reaction's been. But then on the flip side, why shouldn't it have been? I put a huge amount of money into the sport. I don't think I ever did anything wrong. And like I say, I always maintained a good relationship with everybody from referees to hosts to athletes, so I don't see why there would be a problem. But yeah, I'm very grateful that people see me in a positive light, and I think they understand I genuinely want this to work in arm wrestling as I do in strongman. And in strongman now, I've been, I can say, very successful in the Siberian Power Show and what we've created right
Looks
from the
amazing.
beginning. We've had athletes like Hafthor Bjornsson, who doesn't even compete at World's Strongest Man. He won't even be at the Shore Classic. So things like that. So we're doing some things very well.
Yeah.
And I can see ways from things I've learned in strongman that perhaps will help in arm wrestling, which I couldn't apply because of things that went on in the structure at King of the Table, but perhaps I can help apply from the outside to arm wrestling. I think fans see that, appreciate it. But yeah, for all you guys that I see my name everywhere, get me involved. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. But I'm sure there's also people that would hate for that to happen. But it does seem, a lot of people very positive, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. I will never, ever forget your stupid, smug face at the very first King of the Table. I was at King of the Table 5, and we met up and we're having a laugh. And then you told me, no, you said, I saw your predictions of Morozov Dadakan. I was like, yeah, Morozov's going to smash him. You're like, no, watch out for Dadakan. He's going to be huge. And I was only announcing, and I stood in the crowd. You had your spot. I think you're with your girlfriend or your wife at the time. And Dadakan comes in and he goes, bang. And then you looked over and you almost gave me like the Michael Jordan, And then the second round came and Dadakan went whack. And then I look over and you're looking at me. I thought, oh, you son of a bitch. And then obviously if he didn't really get injured, he probably could have. He was like that close to making it 4-zip and really... Yeah, but that's
well, this is also because
in the world. That's one of my fun Matt Rhodes stories.
Yeah. Well, that's also because I have inside information from the Russian pullers, because I even go to like Dennis's gym, and that's why when I was talking the other night about poor matchmaking with Dennis and Voivoda, I'd literally been to the gym with those guys training. I saw what they can and can't do against world-class opposition, Vitaly, all these guys. So I understand exactly how they were going to do, what they could and couldn't do. And that's why I was so frustrated at the matches they were being put into, that I knew the results before they got there. Same with how I knew Dadakan would get on in that match. That's what some people sometimes don't quite realize, that I had a lot of inside information from being a co-owner inside the sport, but also my relationship with athletes in the East and the West,
Yeah.
So it wasn't kind of guesswork, because I'm no pro on arm wrestling. I'm not an expert. All you guys know more than me. I know much more about strongman, but I just have a lot of access to information. That's how I could get things right, like that prediction. But that wasn't my first King of the Table. I came in at King of the Table on 3, Devon versus Levon. That's when I became a shareholder.
Yeah, the King of the Table 4.
Was it 4? I thought it was 3, but it could have been 4. Yeah,
it was 4 because we were told. I always found this funny, and I won't mention any names, but we were told, myself, Ryan Bowen, and Uncle John, that if we did the live commentary, it would not look good for if you ever want to work for Core Sports. It's don't do the live commentary. And then I just found it funny because the next King of the Table, Ryan and I were there. Just a fun little tidbit. I found that hilarious. That's the only reason why I know it's 4. And that was such an that King of the Table 4 was such an exciting time. Like everyone was in such a good mood. Live streams were amazing. There was just something in the air with that, and I can't imagine what it was like being there.
That was genuinely something.
The last 4 weeks leading up to that were just it was probably my favorite time one of my favorite times in arm wrestling.
And that was a lesson in how to build up for matches. Look at the hype and all the excitement into that, as opposed to just throwing up these big matches in 4 weeks' time and not having that build up. But unfortunately, we didn't learn those lessons.
Yeah, it's I totally understand as well when you're saying the matchmaking was a bit silly. we can't obviously go too much into it, but I have seen the manipulation to get matches away from King of the Table, which was a shame.
Matches we lost and matches that never happened, both that were a problem.
Yeah. So I've just asked the chat quick questions before we wrap up. And I think Coach Ray's live. So after this, we'll all go over to Coach Ray's live and tell him that Aussie Arm Wrestler and Matt Rhodes sent you. Do any Easterners agree to do a podcast yet?
I don't know. I asked Hermes, because you've got to remember only a couple speak English. This is a ridiculous thing in all of this. Engin's their middleman, and there's only about 3 of them that can actually speak to him because of the language. So it's not so much about anything other than they just need someone to represent them. It's not because they all chat away with Engin, because they don't have a language in common. So I'm not sure they will, because they'll be scared to be caught out or say something wrong, which happened in that car crash one when Camille came on yours. So no, I don't think so.
Yeah. There you go. Dave says King of Tales was the superior product in the beginning. It was the Premier League best production by far early on. What was before we wrap up? What was one of your favorite things about being involved with King of the Table? What was something that in your short time with us you just went, hell yeah, that's awesome?
For me, for a while, it was the excitement of seeing where it could go, what we could do with it. From a business side of things, it was exciting. I could see how we could really hype matches, how we could build arm wrestlers up if we got matchmaking right to then finally have the big events. A lot of the things that did happen at East versus West, I think, as you remember, I wanted at King of the Table, like trophies, like rankings, strange things that never happened there, which should have. There were some great matches. So I guess that the highlight is, like I said, I had a great relationship really with almost everybody, literally almost everybody.
Yeah.
So it was a highlight. It was good times getting together. And the fact that it was Eastern athletes, Western athletes, it wasn't called East versus West, but it was just athletes from everywhere. It still was East versus West athletes often. It was just seeing the best athletes all pull. That was the highlight. But it's all, I've got to say, tinged with a lot of kind of negativity for the way it went.
Yeah, it was a shame.
So yeah, but my opinion is that this shouldn't be lost now, and that's why I'm actively trying to help. I'm not getting paid right now. No one's paying me to say like we should try and get this back together. But I would just like to see it that way for the good of the sport. In any sport, the essence of sport is seeing the best versus the best. So why not want that as a sports fan?
Yeah. People, of course, everyone likes seeing the best of the best, but I just don't see with the boycott that's happened straight away. Why? I don't know if I'm too stubborn, but why we're in a rush to bring them all back? Let's just see. Let's see some good matches. Let's get some good arm wrestling matches. Let's see some good events from, say, a production value, some new fans in. It was just the same with the YouTube era. Coach Ray versus Muzzer here, Larry Wheels versus Schoolboy. They weren't the best of the best, but we got new eyes on the sport. Then the conversations started happening. Well, what if? What if? And that's how I think we can get the Europeans back. But for someone to publicly quit a company straight away, I'm not in a hurry.
I've voiced on behalf of these athletes the concerns they have, but I by no means support any type of strike or boycott. I think it's bullshit. There's no reason to do that. It's not the way to go about things. If the rules had all been changed and they said, okay, you've got to go to Baku and you're going to pull under completely different rules, but all this stuff is what ifs, it's not going to happen. It hasn't happened. So of course I don't support a boycott. At the end of the day, I believe that all the guys in the East that have gone on strike at the moment do love arm wrestling. So it just makes no sense to boycott. It makes sense to talk and fix these things,
There you go. There you go. Well, can we all please thank Matt for jumping out of bed and jumping on the show? And if we can all go over to Coach Ray's channel and tell him that we sent you there, we'll end this stream. Matt, thank you so much for jumping on the show.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for carrying on, and I hope your channel doesn't get taken down because it's a disgrace if that does happen. So, yeah, we'll try to help you make sure it doesn't.